Good evening and welcome back. In today's class, we'll be talking about some impossible distance time graphs. Now, there are many types of different distance time graphs which are of course possible and represent different types of motion. But there are some 4-5 types of graphs which are not possible due to certain reasons. These kinds of questions are very famous for MCQs in competitive exams as well. Okay, so let's try to understand each of them. Coming to the first case now. In the first case, what I am getting is, this is a case of uniform decrease of distance with respect to time. Okay, time is increasing, t is increasing, and distance is decreasing uniformly. Now there is one thing which is impossible here. Time can increase, distance can decrease. Can distance decrease? No, this is not possible. Distance can never decrease. Distance is always taken as a positive value. Okay, because we ignore signs in distance. It's a scalar quantity. It can never decrease. Displacement can decrease, but distance can never decrease, and hence this graph is not possible. Okay, we'll come to 2 just little later. Let's come to 3 first. The third case is again representing the same thing like 1. There is one difference only. Time is increasing. Time is increasing. Distance is decreasing again, we can see, but this is non-uniform. Okay, so these are 2 cases because this is not increasing with equal respect to time. This is non-uniform, but the reason here is also same. Distance can never decrease, not possible. Okay, this is a case of uniform decrease of distance. This is the case of non-uniform decrease of distance. Both are not possible because distance is always a positive quantity. It can never decrease with increase in time. Coming to the third one. Now third one, I have drawn this line here, this dotted line, because this is showing that a particular time an object is having location at 2 places. Okay, at one particular time the object is having positions at 2 places. Let's take the time as, let time be t. Okay, so at t the object is at 2 positions. Let's call this as x, let's call this as y. It's at x and it's as y. Now there is no magic which is happening. The object, of course, one object at a particular time, same time, cannot be at 2 positions. It has to be at only 1 position. How can it be at 2 positions? So hence this is not possible, because one object same time at 2 positions is of course not possible. Same thing with this also. In this, the difference is that we have not drawn this dotted line. So just analyze from here only. If I draw this dotted line here at this time, suppose this is time t naught, the object is at 2 positions again, x and y. So this is having the same reason and it's not possible. Let's take the last case. This is important again. Now this is showing what? Infinite distance with respect to time. Distance is at the same time the object's distance is increasing infinitely. So what, let's understand, distance is x. Let x be the distance of the object and time is represented by t. Let's find the slope of this graph. The slope of this graph is x2 minus x1. d2 minus d1 is x2 minus x1, which is distance is x, upon t2 minus t1. Okay, at t naught. I am taking this time as t naught, so I am finding the slope at t naught. Now at t naught, it is at x2 also. This, suppose this distance is x2 and this distance is x1. The object is at having the same distance of x2 also, x1 also. But the time t2 minus t1 is same because the object is at only one time and it is having such a huge infinite distance. So what will t2 minus t1 be? 0, x2 minus x1. Okay. Now we know that anything if divided by 0 gives the answer of infinity. This is not a cross, it is infinity. And one more thing, the slope of this distance time graph which I was calculating gives you the speed. So what am I concluding here? Infinite speed, which is of course not possible. We cannot have infinite speed. Speed has to be having a certain finite quantity. Okay, value. So again, let's take the case once again. I am finding the slope of this graph. Slope is x2 minus x1 or d2 minus d1 upon t2 minus t1. Time is same, so t2 minus t1 is 0. Anything divided by 0 is infinity. and the slope of this graph or dx by dt gives you speed. So infinite speed case, speed is equal to infinity in this case, and speed of course is a scalar quantity. It can never have infinite value. It has to be having a definite finite value, and that's why this graph is not possible. Okay, and this always should be remembered that the slope of the distance time graph gives you the speed of an object or the velocity of an object if we take the signs. Fine. So hence, because of infinite speed, this graph is not possible. So these kinds of curves can be given as an MCQ. 3 to 4 curves can be given, and you can be asked which is possible or which is not possible. So just try to identify, look for these 3 conditions. Number 1, distance can never decrease, uniformly also, non-uniformly also. Number 2, distance of objects at a particular time cannot be at 2 positions. Object is 1, it will be present in 1 position only. And number 3, speed can never be infinite. Okay, distance time graph cannot be a vertical slope like this. Okay, it cannot just rise like this because speed cannot be infinite, is the case. Fine. That's all for this class. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. And do write in the comment section if you have any doubt. Thank you.